KurtZpel is a small upcoming MMO that I got to closed beta test in, and this is my little closed beta overview and review. So let us start with character creation. One thing that looks a bit wrong to me is that they called the height slider maturity, meaning technically by height the smallest height character should be a very young girl, at most 10-11 years old. However, if they really meant maturity and not height, it is rather odd that you can put giant hips and breasts on her. Also the jiggle physics. If you have nothing on your chest, it is so advanced that you can jiggle your ribcage, making it go in and out of your chest. Outside of that, I think that the art style is pleasing on the eye. During closed beta, recreating the character was free, but I don't think that it will be like this in the full game. I've lost the story footage, but from what I've gathered, there's these special people called KurtZpel that are being persecuted. The legend says that they will overthrow the current rule and unite the world. KurtZpel seem to be special with their powers, so they're all working together in an organization called the Chase. You want to climb the ranks of the organization because it lets you fight bigger and badder bats, until presumably you kill the biggest and baddest. Some of the lines in the story were untranslated and the subtitles were hard to read sometimes due to it being colored white and on a white background. Next up, games PvE. PvE stands for player versus environment, or in other words, all content that is not player versus player. PvE is very bare bones. You select a mission. Most story missions seem to have 3 parts to them, where you fight a harder and harder enemy. These missions seem to have a tiny isolated mission stories. You just went on a random mission with random people that you should develop friendships with once you go on more missions with them, I think. There's also some single turn missions for 2 players. You can create a party up to 2 players in the hub or simply queue for them. There is a gear upgrading system and the missions can reward you items. However, stats only matter in PvE, and KurtZpel seems to be primarily a PvP game. One downfall of such game though seems to be the fact that you still need to do PvE to rank up to get more PvP missions, as after you finish a mission, it falls off your mission list. So you're forced to do a mixture and to repeat some PvE missions over and over again, which does get stale pretty fast. Now to talk about PvP. Due to a very limited skill set, each player can have 2 classes equipped, each class can have 3 spells, basic, heavy, and special attack, and also a dodge. The game is very easy to play. Unfortunately, classes with bigger AoE abilities are almost guaranteed to win now, because when your player gets hit, they get slightly staggered and seem to be unable to dodge. The only type of PvP that's available is 2 versus 2 players, but there are many modes. Some extra stuff to mention. Even with the best hardware, the main hub lags due to the amount of people standing there. I did not notice any social features, as in I couldn't join or create a guild. There wasn't even a friends list. I can't even begin to guess how they will monetize the game. I want to think that that will be done through cosmetics, but with certain aspects of the game mentioning the word DLC, I think buying missions that will give you certain abilities or full-on classes is a full-on possibility, which may skew the balance against free players. But this part of the game remains to be seen. Overall, I think KurtZpel can be a pretty little niche PvP game. I feel like forcing players to do PvE will do more harm than good though, and I have no idea how max rank endgame looks, nor how will they monetize it. Nor is this really how the finished game will be. For all I know, this is a very small percent of the game that we got to explore. There was some charm to what I've seen today, though, and I think I'll keep my eye on it.